Hi, so we are going to proceed. Let us move straight to you know NumPy array reshaping. So if you understand with me that last week we did NumPy array copy and view. That is NumPy array copy. How do you produce a copy of a NumPy array? So we are going to move away from that now. We are going to move to uh, NumPy array reshaping. So that's what we're going to do today. I told you that NumPy is quite very effective when it comes to comparison with list in Python. So that is very, very prominent. I mean, it's very important for us to know how it's being used. Okay, so let us move straight to the other place. So let's import NumPy as MP. So we are doing reshaping now. So if I run this one now, it's not going to give me anything because let it be recognized that NumPy has been imported. So what is the meaning of reshaping? So when we say reshape, actually, we are talking about reshaping. Like for instance, I thought about shape. Shape, you want to know how many, for instance, you want to know the number of rows, the number of columns. So is it one dimension? Is it two dimensions? Like that. So you can use it to know. I mean, you can know your shape. And we did dot shape then, if you remember. That was our previous class. You can check the video. So, but today, let's look at how we can convert one shape to the other. Most times we are going to convert from one dimension to two dimension, then we'll convert to like three dimensions now. But you must understand that um, there must be a valid number of elements inside the array before it can work. You can't just put series of elements that is not complete, that cannot form that shape. So when we say reshape, we're talking about we are changing we are changing the shape of an array. Of course, you know the meaning of reshape generally in English. Shape, then you reshape it. That's you turn it on that shape. So let's take, for instance, let's say we have array 1. Let me just call it array 1 equals to MP. What I'm doing is MP dot array. I'm trying to sorry. Okay, of an array. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is this MP dot array. Array now. So for instance, this is a function. So inside it there's an array. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So we have this now. There are 12 values here now. So you check it now. This one dimension. So if you check, let me just equate it to a variable. Let me call it array 1. Array 1. Okay. So I've equated to this variable now. For instance, let me just print it and say array 1. So you see like that. Okay, so this is an array. So if I say array 1, okay, dot shape. Okay, so let me just run this and see what it gives us. So this is just a one dimensional or one. The shape is there are 12 row. I mean there are 12. That is 12 by 1. That is the meaning 12 by 1. That means we have a lot of 12 items inside. That's the meaning. So now we are going to change this one. This is just one dimension. This one dimension now. It's one dimension. So if we want to change the dimensions now to two dimensions now, so it's going to be like I want to make it 2 by 2. There's going to be 2 rows, and let's assume that I'm talking about to change to 2 dimension right now. So that's what I'm going to make it to be like. So what I'm going to do is that we are going to make sure that in the rows and column, there's going to be rows and column. When it's 2 dimensions, it's going to be rows and column. So let's make sure that there are 4 rows and then there are 3 columns. 4 rows, 3 columns. If you check 4 times 3 is 12. So everything's still complete 12 elements there total. So let's look at it now. So if you want to do it, you say array 1 dot what? You just use the shape function. Shape function. If you use shape function, passing the number of rows and column. So if you run this one now, so if I want to run this, I can just run it. Let me save it into a stop. Let me just say reshape 1. Let me store it into reshape. So if I run this reshape 1 now, reshape 1, let me just say reshape 1. So if I run it now, you see that how many rows. See how many rows? Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So there are 4 rows. And how many column? 1, 2, 3. So there are 4 columns. So you can change it. You can decide to do it different ways. I can say, okay, let me reshape it again. Let me reshape it. So it's array 1 to what? Let me say reshape. Maybe say 6 by 2. Like 6 by 2. Now what it's going to say is this is going to be 6 row and 2 columns, right? Because 6 times 2 is a complete 12. So that's why I'm doing that. So if I check now, let me just name it on reshape 2. You know, the other one is reshape 1, reshape 2. Okay, so reshape 2. So if I print reshape 2 now, let's see what it gives me. Reshape 2. So if I print reshape 2 now, what is it going to give me? So you can see that the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 row, and there are many columns. 1, 2 columns. So that is it. So we have done like 2 dimensions. So let's convert to, you're going to convert to 3 dimensions right now, but you must understand that the rows, column, whether it's length, breadth, and height kind of stuff, they must comply. It must all sum up. I mean, the product must all conform to 12 elements there. That's if there are 12 elements. So let's look at the reshape into 3 dimension right now. Let me just say to 1D to 3D. Okay, so that's what I want to do now. So what we're going to do is this. Let me just do it again. Array. The name of the stuff, the array is array1. Yeah, so array1. I'm going to say array1 dot reshape now. So we're going to reshape it now. That means let it have, let's consider XYZ for instance. So let's say it's going to have 2 rows, 3 column, and then how many stack of it? Let's say 2. So it's going to be like, oh no, wait, let's check if it's going to complete up to 12. So 2 times 3, 6 times 2, 12. Okay, it's going to be, let me just say 3D. Let me just say 3D. Let me just say array 3D. Let me just call it array 3D. Okay, so let me print it out now. Array 3D. Okay, so when we print this one out, you're going to see that it's going to give us, can you see now? It's going to give us how many rows? 1, 2, 3. I mean, the rows in this case now we have if you check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3. It's like 3 rows. I've done it before, these 3 dimensions. So you have 3 rows, then we have 2 columns. 2 columns, and then how many stack now? There are 2 stack. So that's what it's showing me. So you can see that these 3, if you want to also know that is 3, you see 3 brackets here, for instance. So there are 3 stuff like this. So so that is how to convert from 1 dimension to 3 dimension. Just use reshape and then put the number of the number of rows, number of column, and then there are many stack of it behind. Okay, so that is it. So we're going to stop here right now. So that is reshape. If you have any questions, you can you can just put it on the comment section, then I will reply to it. So you see for the 3 dimensions, for this one I've just done, what it implies, let me just put a clear cut explanation about it before I call it a day. So to convert it now, the outermost dimension, we have 2 arrays. That's the outermost dimension. We have 2 arrays that contain 3 arrays, each with 2 elements. So that's what it means. 2 elements. So we have used it now. So this is it. Okay, so this is it. We are going to look further to other stuff. You can do others, like I don't think you have up to 4 dimension will be very difficult for you to understand, but the thing I want to say is that you must make sure that everything add up to 12, and everything add up to 12. This is 12 by 1, that's the meaning of this 4 by 3, which is everything is 4 times 3, 12. This 6 times 2, everything is 12. This 2 times 3 times 2, making 12. So you can see now. So if I give you 10 now, like say array 2 equals to Let me just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Even though you give you something like this, you should be able to do that. Or let me just make it array inside mp dot array. Okay, mp dot array like this. Okay, so you should be able to know how you want to do this. Let me just call it array new. Let me call it array new, so there will not be clash of name. So if you have something like this, what are you going to do? Like I can just convert this one to 2 by 5. Let's assume that is 2 dimension. I say 2 by 5, that is 2 rows and 5 columns. You understand? So if I say array underscore new, okay, so I'll say reshape now. So you should be able to know that this has to have a value, several arguments inside that will add up or multiply. The product will add up to what? 10 elements. So 2 by 5. If you check now, let me just equate it to, let me just call it new one as variable. So if I do this now, new one, if I print new one now, you're going to see that is what? Two rows and 5 columns. 2 rows and 5 columns. So let me stop here. I think I've given another example that I think will portrays my points. So thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in the next class.